Hello there.
Welcome back, my friend.
Hello, what have we here?
Jedi, we've been expecting you.
Knew I could count on you.
Hello.
Welcome to the rebellion.
What fun!
Hey everyone, Hybrid here, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about some figures from the Mandalorian and Grogu that I would still like to see. Don't get me wrong, we have gotten some excellent coverage for the movie so far, and a lot of very heavy hitters have been done in plastic form, and I'm very happy to see that. So far we have 10 unique releases that are available in hand so far, and a couple more that are coming. Imperial, Commander Warlord Barrow, the Target exclusive one. But, we've got the two waves of figures, we've got the single pack Grogu, we've got a lot of good stuff already, but there's more stuff I'd like to see from this movie, because I had a lot of fun with this one. It's uncommon for me to go and see a new movie over and over in theaters. If I really, really like it, twice is usually where I'm at. I've seen The Mandalorian and Grogu 5 times. It is just such a fun movie, and we have a budget theater nearby, and I keep going back. So anyway, we've got about 10 figures in hand already, and I was able to come up with a list of about 10 more. Some of these are a little bit fringe to the point where they're obviously not essential, but I'm pretty confident that if we got these 10 figures, we'd kind of be set on this movie. It's a fun movie, it's a great movie, but let's be fair, the stakes on this movie are not ginormous. The character list is not a long one. So I think that, we can definitely get away with having 20 figures covering everything. It's like the Kenobi series. Give me a young Leia, and that show's done in figure form, So anyway, and of course, you should go into it expecting that if you've not seen the movie, there's going to be spoilers in this list, so keep an eye out on that. But I think in no particular order, but I think they get more important as we go, to the other end of this list. I'm going to start with the Amani. These guys are pretty cool. I know that there's an Amani in the original trilogy. I think he's in Jabba's palace. So I think it would maybe scratch an itch for those original, however many Kenner figures, the original 93 or whatever it was. People might like to see the Amani come to the line. The Amani, have a pretty decent screen presence in the, going into the third act of the movie, if you will. You see the Mando fight a couple of them in the snake pit, and then they are patrolling the swamps looking for them. They're a very interesting alien design, kind of tall, kind of wide, kind of flat. They carry spears, they're kind of scary, truthfully. They use them for a pretty solid jump scare in the third act, and I think that it would be a cool figure. It's one of those ones where it's generic enough that you could army build it, because there are multiples in the movie. There's a part of me that's like, would I buy 3 Amani? Probably not. Maybe 2, though. But I think the Amani would definitely be a fine addition to the line. Black Series usually does really good with those weird alien sculpts, so I'd really like to see the team take this on. It'd be a really fun one to get. Going on from there, this one I feel would really complete the opening scene of going through the Imperial snow base. I want the AT-AT driver, or the AT-AT officer, at good old Wikipedia, he has a name, Fremit. So we see Warlord Barrow talking to Fremit over comms, they're trying to figure out where the Mandalorian is, because all they know is they're hearing footsteps outside of the AT-ATs. This guy gets an alright amount of screen time in the scene. He's barking orders at the stormtroopers. Don't get me wrong, we've got our AT-AT drivers, we've got our AT-RT driver, we've got some snowtroopers already, we've got Barrow coming, who's already a little bit of a reach on if people would actually care about him or not. But, if you want to really complete the scene, I think Officer Fremit would be a good addition. He's got pretty cool design. He's got that kind of bucket helmet that a lot of our other Imperial officers on the battlefield wear. But then he's kind of got shore trooper chest armor going on. He's a little bit of a modern hybrid. Hey, that's me, hybrid. But very, very cool design. And gosh, if we're getting Barrow, anything's possible, right? Anyway, going on from there. One that I think would be very fun, it would be an interesting character to get just because of his species being the Saesee Tin species. I'd be interested in getting Hog's Breath. Don't get me wrong, dude just wears clothes, has a really cool big heavy gun. Mando brawls with them a little bit in a bar at one point. I think it would just be another one of those good alien characters, and that's kind of truthfully where I fall on him, is, he's kind of checking a little bit of a box. But I'm going to rush on to the next one, because I think if we get this next character, Hog's Breath would be very essential to that. This next character on the list being Janu Coin, who is the mystery Imperial warlord that Mando is looking for, and goes on this whole mission not realizing that he's ran into him already before. Janu Coin's actually been seen as far back as the finale of Season 3 of the show. He's one of those Imperial warlords in hologram talking to Moff Gideon, so that's really cool, as was Barrow. And we see him have a pretty good presence in the movie. He's running a lot of underground, fighting crime on Sakari, and he's just got some great scenes. I think he'd be a fun action figure. He's definitely the bad guy of the first, 2 acts of the film, if you will. The overall bad guys, of course, are the Hutts, but this guy gives Mando a run for his money for a little bit of the movie, if you will. Again, not the most essential character, him or Hog's Breath, overall. I think the shelf isn't going to look incomplete without them, but if you want to check every possible box for this film, I think him and Hog's Breath are an essential duo of figures. Going on from here, this one is a bit of a blanket statement, but more mercenary droid variants from the droid gacha. We've just gotten the one droid, the mercenary droid, in the second wave, and it is such a cool figure. I really love this figure. And the Vintage Collection has a mercenary droid coming of the Super Battle Droid, the B2 Battle Droid version of these droids that we see in the movie. But there are a couple of other droids. There's one that's got a head that kind of looks like an Imperial security droid. There's one that's got a head that's kind of got a rounded dome to it, not unlike Embo, except it's not a hat, it's a head shape, but it's just a unique head shape, if you will. And then we've got all those designs with varying paint. I mean, they could do the Jedi Fallen or the Jedi Survivor thing and just give us droid repaint on droid repaint on droid repaint. I'd be okay for the first little bit as long as we were getting some new sculpts. But I definitely think the Super Battle Droid one is essential, because as those 375 collectors like to say, balance the scales, Hasbro. If they got it, we have to have it, right? So I think the B2 is essential, and I think those 2 other heads would be great. I think if we got 4, one of each head type, it would at least be a nice little squad to have going. But if they then wanted to start doing some repaints into some variants, I think some of us would be interested in those as well. After that, talking about the droids, what about the droidsmiths? I think the Anzellans would be a great release. Now, I'm sitting here thinking, how do you make the Anzellans worth it, right? Because there's the 4 little Anzellans. In Black Series form, they'd be an inch tall. I think you put them in the standard Black Series box. You put all 4 of them together in there, of course. You give them some little accessories, the little flashlight, the little welding torch. But still, that's a lot of airspace in that box for these little figures that are almost accessories, right? I think we get our next Black Series vehicle here. I think we get our little Anzellan speeder. It would be this little 3-inch by 3-inch plastic square, that would be not even an inch tall. It's just a little platform that these guys get on. I mean, I think that would be the way to do the next vehicle in the line. Just put it in the standard action figure packaging. You'd still be using less plastic overall than an average Black Series figure. The speeder itself wouldn't require any insane paint hits to what my memory serves. The characters would require some paint deco. But I mean, come on. We need these guys. We need Keto and Clang and Bai and Minch. We need them in the line, Hasbro. I need my Anzellans. I need my fix. Come on, Hasbro. Do it. After the Anzellans, I think the next essential character would be Kaibu, Embo's dog. So, my thoughts here, right? People were kind of spazzing. Embo got released, or announced, I guess he's released now. But they didn't say anything about his dog, and everywhere Embo goes, he has his dog. And I totally get it. Embo and his dog coming, in the line, they need to come together. And I have nothing against the dog coming in the line. But I don't know. Black Series collectors are a fickle creature, if you will. And it's weird. Anything that comes in deluxe packaging, you guys will play clearance chicken on everything. It is ridiculous. It makes Hasbro not want to make more deluxe characters. And, I don't know. I mean, you guys see a figure for $27, and you're like, all right, all day long. And then you see a figure for $32 that's big or comes with extra, and you're like, nah, not at all. So I think Hasbro making Embo and his dog a deluxe set would have been the wrong choice because you guys would have played clearance chicken on it. But instead of spending $35, I think we need to spend $50 on it and make Kaibu his own separate release in the line. The dog is big enough, it would have enough unique deco and paint to where I think it would be a worthy figure in its own packaging, all said. I mean, this is a big, like, wolf dog thing. As far as accessories, gosh, you could throw in whichever Anselin it is that he grabs and uses as the chew toy for a little bit. Maybe a unique posed one with a unique facial expression, as morbid and horrible as that sounds. But I think Kaibu could absolutely be his own release. And then you don't have to worry about playing clearance chicken on a deluxe. You can just buy 2 full-sized action figures, which we don't think twice about, you know. But from there, we're getting into the final 3. Now, Kaibu and the Anzelans, yes, I think are essential. I think everything on this list is essential. I would buy everything on this list. But these next 3, I'm like, come on, where are they? So, in the 3rd spot on the list is Colonel Ward in her Adelphi base outfit. Don't get me wrong, I like our pilot Colonel Ward. However, there's a few things with that figure. I actually think the Sigourney Weaver likeness on that is very nice, but she has very floofy, voluminous hair, and they had to sculpt her hair kind of plastered down for the removable helmet. And when you put that helmet on, you're like, oh yeah, great. But when you take it off, you're like, oh, that's, you know, there's something a little off, and I think it's the hair. Whereas on the Adelphi base, she's always wearing that kind of greenish-blue jacket, and she's just kind of wearing some day clothes, and I get the vibe that, like, she only suits up for an important mission. Otherwise, you know, she's kind of pushing papers on the base. I think it's to the point that, I mean, we see her in this outfit more than we see her in the pilot gear, although she looks great in the pilot gear in the movie. I think an Adelphi outfit would absolutely be worthy. Colonel Ward, actually, I really ended up liking her character. Not a huge amount of screen time, but just well written for what she needed to be. And, yeah, I really liked Colonel Ward, so I would absolutely get both versions of her from the movie. Up next, and this is a carryover from the show, and TVC has it, so balance the scales, Hasbro. Where's my Carson Teva? Come on, Carson Teva. He is the glue of the MCU of Star Wars right now. He has appeared in all of these live-action shows to kind of remind you that these are interconnected things. He is our Agent Coulson, if you will. I'm calling it. You know, Thrawn's going to invade the galaxy, and the government's not going to want to do anything, and he's going to be like, I know some people, and he's going to make some calls and assemble, you know, the Star Wars Avengers, if you will. That's still my headcanon on all this, so we'll see how that goes. But Carson Teva, essential character. Come on, we need that Angry Appa in 1/12 scale. It would be great. It would give us a stockier body mold for the X-Wing pilot to the point that I think you could reuse it to do a Jack Porkins. It might be a slightly lean Jack Porkins. I don't want them to, like, make Carson Teva, like, hella pudgy to do a Porkins justice later on. I'd rather they do Carson Teva right and maybe cut corners on Porkins, you know, slim them down, be respectful maybe. But I think that the X-Wing pilot mold that they make for him would be a good reusable one for certain characters for sure. But we need Carson Teva in the line. Come on, Hasbro. We got Trapper Wolf. I mean, like, Carson Teva and him are like wingmen. Like, we need this, Hasbro. Come on, it's time. And then this last one requires, like, more than a deluxe. It would have to be some kind of, like, a premium specialty priced item. But I think we all want Rada the Hutt. I mean, come on. He shows up and steals the show. He is such an awesome character. I really wondered where he was watching Book of Boba Fett when the twins roll in and they're like, we're taking Jabba's palace. I'm like, what about his kid from that Clone Wars movie that you guys don't talk about anymore? Like, Jabba's got a son. Where is he? I've been on that camp for years. I'm like, where's Rada? No one's wanted to mention him, you know, in all these new shows. But I'm glad that they finally told us what happened to Rada. He just has no interest. He's his own man. You know, they booed for him because he's the son of Jabba until he earned their cheers. I mean, come on. Rada's an excellent character. I really liked him in this movie. He was very fun. And he's an essential one of the core crew at this point. I mean, he's like buddies with Mando by the end of it, and I really like that a lot. So yeah, Rod of the Hutt, I think, is essential for this movie's shelf. I mean, not only is he like the plot device that gets the ball rolling after the initial mission of dealing with the stormtroopers on the snow planet, but just he's a great character in the movie, and he's one that I'd really like to see on the shelf. He'd be an interesting kind of like centerpiece. You know, they couldn't reuse that Jabba mold from 12 years ago, 13 years ago now. It would have to be a unique mold because not only is that one dated, but Jabba's not buff, whereas Rada is. It'd have to be a special mold for Rada. But I think we get Rada, we get his two axes, you know, I think that would be like the centerpiece of the Mando and Grogu shelf. I don't know. What do y'all think? Am I spitting? Am I totally waffling? Let me know in the comments below. I had a lot of fun with this movie to the point that I'd buy just about anything. But I think these 10 characters could definitely put a bow on the Mando and Grogu subline. I really, you know, I don't know. I think that these are great choices. I think they would be fun additions to the shelf. If you like the movie to the point that I do, I mean, like, I love this movie. I think that these would just complete it. You know, this would be a great way to put a bow on the movie and say, hey, that's the Mando and Grogu shelf, and I would be happy with that. If I had to make any honorable mentions, and these are like, they're not gonna do it, but like, I think the twins could be a fun set too, but I'm just like, gosh, you know, we see them briefly in Book of Boba Fett, and we see them a bit in this movie. It's like, they're reaching too much, you know, because they're not going to make those dedicated molds. But if anyone's doing like special custom 3D printed ones, I'd probably pick those up. But anyway, I'll keep an eye out on the gram for those. Anyway, that's all I got to say. 10 characters I'd like to see in the line. Let me know in the comments, spitting, waffling, and I'm going to go work on something else now. So thank you for listening to A Guy Ramble. I will catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with you, and I hope you all go on to have a great day.